in Arabic which means resistance. But that term is very deceiving because it was, to the Western ear, it sounds very romantic. It sounds like almost like the French resistance in WW2. We are not talking about it. Muqawama is a comprehensive, cohesive ideology based upon radical Islam thought and political structure that basically trying to focus on two major things. One is to offer to the Arab world an alternative to what is being perceived as the corrupted, failed, current political structure of the Arab world. And the second thing, which is not less important, Al-Muqawama is devoted, committed to the value of fighting the state of Israel as part of the West, but fighting against the state of Israel is the first phase until the state of Israel is utterly doomed to vanish. This is one of the common denominators of Hamas, Islamic Jihad that are operating in Gaza, Hezbollah that operates in Lebanon, also committed to the same value of Al-Muqawama. Now, you can't understand the Middle East today. Everything that goes today in the Middle East is one way or another related to that terminology. The moderate factors and the non-moderate factors are going around the terminology of Al-Muqawama and the meaning of Al-Muqawama, the resistance, in the context of the current structure. Now, more and more radical Islam factors that are operating in Gaza, challenging Hamas. By the way, ironically enough, the tunnels that are being used by the Hamas to smuggle in weapons that comes from Iran, for instance, or terror activists, because some of the terror activists went through the tunnel to Iran and came back, okay, after a military training. In the same tunnels, we know that there was a flow, infiltration of Al-Qaeda activists, people that graduated Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iraq, Syria. They came to Gaza Strip from the tunnels in the south part, and these people that in the beginning were welcomed by the Hamas because of their military background, because of their know-how, because of their personality and so forth, it didn't take long until these people became the spearhead that basically challenges Hamas today. A couple of months ago, a very interesting story. Hamas had to crash down military, physically, a group that was challenging Hamas in the southern part of Gaza, Junud Ansar Allah, the soldiers that supports Allah. The head of that group was a guy, a doctor by the name, Abdelatif Musa, Abu Nur al-Maqdasi, that was his name. This guy is the less important guy, or less interesting. His deputy was the interesting guy. The deputy was a guy called Abdullah al-Suri. This guy, Abdullah al-Suri, went the whole track. Abdullah al-Suri went the whole track from Syria to Iraq, to Afghanistan and Pakistan. He was fighting back in the 80s and the 90s, and then he came back to Gaza through one of the tunnels that was digged. In the beginning, this guy, Abdullah al-Suri, was the guy that was building one of the most important elite unit of the Hamas terror wing, Azz-ad-Din al-Qassam. It didn't take long until this guy, Abdullah al-Suri, was moving more and more to the radical side because he was not happy with what he thought to be the moderate approach of Hamas, and this guy became the second in command of Junud Ansar Allah, a radical Islam Salafi group operating in the southern part of Gaza. Hamas, at some point when that group was announcing basically that they are establishing an independent emirate in the southern part of Gaza, Hamas movement said, enough is enough. They crashed that movement inside their stronghold, a big mosque in the south part of Gaza, Mosque Ibn Timiyyah, killing 25 sick people, shooting rockets in the residential areas, smashing, wiping down this group. Because that group at this point was perceived by Hamas as an existential threat.
When was that? That was when?
That was last August.
Oh,
They killed the deputy, the guy?
Yeah, they killed them all.
Good.
So if they cut off, if the Egyptians